Well, today, the 10th of December, marks a very auspicious day for the Constitution of South Africa as it celebrates its 21 years of existence. The Constitution Hill precinct in Johannesburg and key partners will later this morning host various events reflecting the over 2 decades of our nation's democracy. And in celebration of this milestone, there will be an unveiling of the Arch for Arch sculpture at Constitution Hill in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. Well, for more on this, we're joined by the chair of the Constitution Hill Trust, Cheryl Carolus. Very good morning and welcome to Morning Live, Cheryl.
Good morning, Paul.
Well, today is quite a special day. It marks 21 years of our nation's constitution, the existence of our constitution. What does this day mean to you personally, and what should it mean for the rest of South Africa?
No, Paul, it is indeed an auspicious day. It's the coming of age of our constitution. 21 in the life of the average South African. It's a big day. It's when you now leave childhood and become an adult. And I think that I look back on our Constitution with great pride. And I know there's a lot of very robust discussion about all sorts of views about the Constitution. I think it stood us in good stead. I think it has brought dignity, it's brought confidence, it's brought security to millions of South Africans. And I was at the Hill on Wednesday night when we said farewell to Justice Besson Kabinde. And they just recounted some of her judgments. And that was just one judge's judgments over the years. And I'm just so proud of it. So I'm going to the Hill today with a huge amount of pride. And it's days after Tata Madiba passed, when we remember Tata's passing on the 5th. 5 days later, we remember the day that he signed the Constitution in Sharpeville. 21 years ago. So the pain of the 5th of December is ameliorated by the joy that I know Tata must have if he just thinks about what we've achieved.
Wow. Now, you spoke about how our Constitution is 21. It's a great milestone. So it's almost as if it's entering in this adulthood. What would you say are some of the highlights from when it was birthed to when it became a teenager and now it's grown?
When the Constitution was adopted, there was nothing. There was no jurisprudence. We had this wonderful document. And then it was up to the Constitutional Court and the judges, the wise women and men there, and the wise citizens to go to the court. And I think that's something we forget often, is that the wisdom that the court has come out with stems from ordinary citizens looking at this document and saying, I believe that I'm entitled to this, or I believe that something has violated that. And of course, the biggest part of our Constitution that I think we hold most dear is the Bill of Rights. And so for me, the biggest achievements we've had are the landmark rulings, for example, the Grootboom case that related to people's right to housing and very thoughtfully spoke about the rights and obligations of all the parties in that process. I think back of the right to access to treatment for people who are HIV positive. And the fact that today we look at the consequence of that, we've got the best antiretroviral program in the world. And we're not the richest country, but we actually have done it. And the partnerships that have come through that. So it's not just the rulings, it's also how the Constitution has laid out the different responsibilities of government, of civil society, of the healthcare system, of citizens, in achieving that. So I just think it's the beauty of our Constitution has been how it's given life, particularly around the Bill of Rights, the socio-economic rights like education, healthcare, housing. And I don't think anywhere in the world do we have anything as clearly and simply enunciated and lived out as we do in South Africa.
Oh, fantastic. So, Cheryl, it's been quite an exciting week leading up to this day. There have been quite a number of events that have taken place. Won't you quickly take us through those events and, most importantly, what we can look forward to at the Hill this morning?
Well, this week we've seen young people cleaning up the Hill, young people from not only from Hillbrow, but a large contingent from Hillbrow. And it's just beautiful how the Hill has become owned by the people of Hillbrow. And so school kids and youth were there yesterday and the day before cleaning up the Hill in anticipation of today. We've also had Advocate Thuli Madonsela running a whole program there around rights and responsibilities. And this afternoon, we will, of course, be gathering with past judges, present judges of the court, former law clerks, many of whom are now esteemed jurists, lawyers themselves. So former law clerks and the current law clerks who serve with the judges. And then, of course, we'll be joined by people from Chapter 9 constitutions. Mam Brigalia Bam will be there. Malusi Mpowana, who's the Secretary General of SACC. Various people from the old Human Rights Commission, like Reverend Barney Pichana, who served as the chair of the Human Rights. Joyce Roque, who in fact was in the Gender Commission and served on the Truth Commission with Archbishop Tutu. So citizens who have walked with bits of the Constitution that gave life to the rights. And then, of course, so we will be in a colloquium. We'll be reflecting on the achievements of the last 21 years, and we'll be looking forward, because I think we have to think this gift that we have is now 21 years old. Well, let's stop reflecting just on the glory of the past or our frustrations of the past. What is it that we as citizens need to own and look forward to?
Cheryl, we don't have any more time, but where can people read the Constitution for someone who's never read the South African Constitution?
The Constitution is online. You can pick up a hard copy at Constitution Hill when you go there. They're available there. You can get them from various places with the Department of Justice. But online, it's there, and in bookshops as well. So thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. That's Cheryl Carolus from the Constitution Hill Trust, speaking to us about the 21-year anniversary of the nation's constitution that is expected to commence in a few hours from now at the Constitution Hill in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. So make sure you make your way there this morning.